much better rack. Take a break right there. There's real no, that's not the right words. There's real no way. There really is no way to readjust except to actually do it. I mean, you can walk all you want with a 35 pounder. In fact, I do. But the way to move up is just to use heavier weights. Keep going here. Okay. So I had a bit of a tough week. It was a fun week. There was a potluck. There were some odd issues going on at work that I'm not really going to go into right now. Then I was backed up on records requests almost all week this week. So there was just all kinds of crazy stuff. Some of the audio, I can talk about the record stuff just very briefly, but some of the audio involving the records, the microphones were in overdrive mode. So every time you listen to it, it sounded like a freight train was running into your head. It was pretty bad. I did my best to clean it up, but there was, beyond using third-party software, there was no real way to clean it up. It was just, I had to let it slide as is. Of course, then I took care of more record requests. Same guy who was on the same record was on other records, and he sounded just fine in other departments. So there's issues with audio sometimes where he sits. You know, we have a vendor coming in to look at that. So it is what it is. Let's keep going. But the static was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. It's like, wow. And of course, listening to static for 2 hours kind of really messed up my judgment, as I had a huge migraine, like a massive migraine, to the point where I can barely function. Oh my gosh. Let's keep going here. Take a break there for a second. So with the rack, I think I've explained this before, but if you're racking any kind of weight, doesn't matter if it's barbells or kettlebells, you really want to do it as a three-parter. So you start with your feet, you go to your hips, and then your upper body comes in as a third option. Of course, I just combine the feet and the hips, so it's just a two-pronged motion. And the reason why you started out like that, so you don't damage yourself. So you're lifting with the majority of your lower body, and your upper body is protected. So I'll give you an example. Start out like this. You want to squat down, but you want to make sure your knees are not parallel, but kind of close to parallel, slightly bent. Then you go straight up. And there should be very little motion on your body other than bringing it up to the rack position. Upper body, that is. Lower body, there's a lot of motion to it. When I get back to Washington, I'm gonna start power cleaning again. And I know practicing this will help. Okay, whew. The lap 4 I'm on right now. And I apologize for not uploading my workout videos. That's the music of band back there. But lately after work, I've been getting home. Man, I'm exhausted. I just go right to bed. And it's not a good habit to be in. Go to bed early, get up extremely late. That's what's been going on. So for example, I go to bed at 6:30, wake up at 5. And it's just, this is the time of the year where I'm working, where everybody's moving around. They're switching phone extensions, all kinds of stuff. And I myself moved, was it 2 or 3? 2 or 3 users around this week. So that was exhausting. And it's not like in some enterprise environments where they have laptops and docking stations and moving around is as simple as grabbing a laptop and moving. They've got desktops because they're running specific software for trials, so they need the power to run that software. But there was there's no checklist or anything like that, so that was a little difficult. And sometimes that's just the way it is. It's just all ad hoc, and you got to do it right away. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as there's completion on the end. But I don't have access to everything. I need to complete it, so I have to work with others. And that is a good thing in itself. Yeah. But in some environments, I don't name the environments just because some companies just give you full access to resources and just say, here's everything you need. We trained you. Now it's up to you to figure it out as you go along. Then they just throw you out the door. That's not a bad way to learn either. What's really helpful when troubleshooting is establishing what software the user is using and how it's used, what they're trying to access, stuff of that nature. And it just starts with asking questions and researching as much as you can, either the company resources or online resource to assist before you try to help with other people. For example, I had a printer issue. I still have a printer issue going on at work, and it doesn't seem to be going on with anybody else, just the users at this same computer. So I'm all like, that's strange. Then I checked in with everybody else, and it's just that computer, and it's just the way things print at that computer. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I documented everything. Did as much troubleshooting as I could. Word has the universal template, or a template in the background called, I think it's normal.m, that I deleted and replaced. And not even that fixed it. And the difference is one set of files was being handled by PDF, the other set of files was being handled by Word. So that's just really strange. And couldn't get it figured out this week. We'll get it figured out next week for sure. Excuse me. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt really bad, I'm not gonna lie. But that's part of working out, taking breaks, and sometimes if it hurts, you just gotta suck it up. As long as you don't die from it, you should be okay. And we'll continue walking here. And I've been talking to my coworkers about this, and I even went out with one of the employee clients to show them what it is I did. And we just walked along the trail. It's very beneficial because it's nice cardio mixed in with the strength aspect. And I always have to re-emphasize safety. If it gets too much, just drop it. Make sure there's nobody around you, or just set it down. You need a break like I do, because it is, for me, it's 44 pounds. For other people who are starting out, it could be 25, it could be anything. Doesn't matter what your level of fitness is. You can always walk with a kettlebell. Set it down right now as an example. And it doesn't have to be 44 pounds. It could be 5 pounds. It could be 10 pounds. It can be 15. You scale it to whatever you need. And remember, re-emphasize my goals again, it's a long-term structural support and long-term gains. So, I mean, eventually you'll start to see muscle definition, but you're not going to start to see it right away. And I mean, I have a pretty big stomach, but it's actually starting to harden up with racking the weight and walking with it. So, I mean, there is that aspect. And the rack came much later when I was doing kettlebell workouts and I was racking the weight. I'm like, I could walk with this if I can hold it. Let's keep going. Set it down here and just rack it with my feet. Boy, that pain. It's not new. It's not fresh. But my nerves haven't felt in a little while, so that's what that is. That's what that pain is. Give my hand a break here. Man, I was actually taking time to learn about